So I think it's probably fair to say that the vast majority of photographers only share their best images online. But as we know, the reality of photography is those best images don't come around that often, and the vast majority of photos that we take aren't all that great, certainly in my case. So I thought in today's video I'd show the true reality of what photography is like for most of us who do this as a hobby. So I'm out on a photo walk today, and I'm going to share every image from this walk so you can see the good, the bad and the ugly of my photography. I suspect most of it will be bad and ugly. Right, let's get into it. Okay, so camera gear wise, I'm using my Fujifilm X100VI. I'm going to shoot in JPEG and RAW, and I'll decide when I get the photos back whether just to keep the JPEGs or edit the images. So I think this has got some potential. I mean, what's caught my eye here is the yellow road salt bin, the daffodils. Obviously we've got the yellow moss on the roof of the barn there, and there's a nice winding road kind of going off into the distance too. And I think the splash of yellow makes up for the lack of nice light. Let's get a little bit closer to it so I can make the grit salt bin and daffodils a little bit more prominent in the frame. The key here is I want the winding road as well. So as I always do, I always walk around the subject to see if I can find an alternative angle of it. And this one's a little bit tighter than I want because I can't really go back far. But I think that's worth a shot. I think the key here is just separating the public footpath sign from the buildings because they blend in otherwise. I think this might be my favourite one of the barn. I quite like how the wall just kind of zigzags around it. The only challenge here is I can't get low enough to separate the barn from the background. So it does blend in a little bit, sadly, but not too bad. I think it works okay, that one. I should be able to make something work here, but I've been walking around this for a while, but I'm struggling. I mean, the lights, the sun's gone in, so there's a lack of contrast, and I just don't think that's helping. The background blends in with the barn again. I quite like the wall though. I mean, the stone wall acts as a nice leading line to it. Maybe if I get down low, use the wall, but then it's a bit dominant. I wonder if I can use those two walkers in the scene. Could have worked, but I rushed it, so I didn't get the composition right. I didn't get the barn above the horizon, so it blends in. This angle maybe. I use the humps and hollows of the ground a little bit to create a bit of an interesting foreground. I've been here 5 minutes, I can't make it work. Maybe with better light, a bit more contrast. I'd have a little bit more going for it, but well, this is quite an interesting location. This used to be a copper mine. I think it's been converted into apartments now. I think this might work. There's a cat walking up the path. I think it's coming to greet me. Sorry to interrupt, it's Ant here from the future. This photo walk took a surprising twist, where I stumbled on a couple of subjects that made it really worthwhile. So please stick around, because hopefully it's a good example of how sometimes you go out with no expectations and come back really pleased with what you capture. Ant from the future. That sounds like the world's worst superhero. Right, back to the video. Well, that's my kind of subject. Bit of a derelict barn. The background looks like a bit of a rock face. So a very simple shot, but it's all about the subject. So if I just step back a little bit, I can bring the road in. The challenge I've got though is to actually avoid this wall, because it's a nice mossy wall, but obviously it leads your eye away from the barn and down that road. So this is the view of that garage from the other side. The fallen gate makes it quite interesting. Even the little bin there isn't putting me off taking this one, because the location of that, given the nearest houses are way up that hill, do pose a question in my mind. So I'm going to take that one. So I think this day's panning out kind of how I thought it would. I've got about 20 photos so far. Am I overly excited with any of them? Not really. I think I've found one or two interesting subjects, but nothing to write home about. And I think this is what the reality of photography is. I know when I was someone who used to purely focus on the end result, 9 times out of 10, I used to come home disappointed. That's quite a nice old church. Wonder if it's open. I'll be able to add a few images to my church photography project. But I think for now I'm going to actually add that image to today's collection. Just a record shot of the church, really. We're open. So all I'm looking for here are just little patches of light that I can use. And I'm after the little detailed shots. Like things like that, I think. I mean, one thing that I feel I've benefited from with my photography, with this church project, is I'm finding subjects I can photograph that aren't really affected too much by the weather conditions. Even if there's no direct sunlight, there's usually pockets of light hitting parts of the interior of the church. That's worth an image. They're just pleasing to my eye, the alignment of the flowers and the pictures and the cross. Just using a bit of spot metering to get the light how I want it. I think I prefer this shot of it. I'm just using the pillar to block out part of the scene. It's just a case of getting the light right, just to illuminate enough of the objects on that table. I like that. I think, well, obviously it's the obvious shot this, but all the light is coming in through the main window at the back of the church there. Although it's not a photo I'd ever take, out of respect, a subject being stood up there so I could silhouette them would be perfect. But yeah, I suppose I could put myself in the scene if I'd got a tripod with me, but I haven't. I mean, one thing photographing churches provides is a great opportunity to learn how light and shadows interact with the scene, how you can use them to your advantage. You don't tend to get as many opportunities as this when you're shooting outdoors. But there, look, those two, do they call them pews? Benches. They're being illuminated by the light coming through the window there. So I should, I can use the pillars to frame the two windows, and we'll get the light kind of streaming through the middle. I've taken a landscape and a portrait version there. I prefer the portrait. I think just focusing on 2 windows works best. Wow, that's fascinating. Looks like the church organ. Just to see if I can use these to frame anything. Like that All Saints banner thing there. I don't think it really works, but we're in the digital age, so it don't really matter. Nothing to lose by trying. I don't think it works. But we'll give it a go. I'm just having a bit of a play here with a shallow depth of field. Use some of these colourful plants to frame old Jesus on his cross. I think it works quite well. These are the kind of images that really work well on my little photo project, just the moments in between, as I call them. The subtle little details. Well, I've just looked on my map and there's a location I've got in mind where I think there's a chance of getting a decent photograph. So I'm going to head over there now. But some of those images I got in that church are a good example of why. All you need to do some days is just pick up your camera and go out for a walk. Be curious. You never know what you'll find. The first 20 images from today, they're a bit meh. I don't think I got anything particularly great. I feel like I've definitely got some images from that church that will be great for my photo project. Really pleased with how some of those have turned out, and they'll complement the images I've already got from previous churches. It was being curious several months ago that kind of took me inside a church in the first place, and a photo project came out of that. Well, it's definitely perked me up, because I think those first 20 photographs I thought, God, all I'm going to be sharing today is definitely the bad and the ugly. There'll be nothing good. But hopefully one or two of those I've got in the church there might have saved the day a little bit. Well, it's still there. This caught my eye. Last year I drove by it and I had to pull over, take a few photos of it. Much better conditions. It was a nice sunny day that day. So I'm not going to get as good an image today, but I thought I'd come and check it out, because it's actually a working phone box by the look of it. The road, how it meanders over into the distant hills, is what drew my eye to this one. And it's so weather worn too. So I probably need one or two little detail shots of it while I'm here. I think what drew my eye to this is its location. I imagine pre-mobile phones that, there was quite a lot of these types of phone boxes dotted around in rural areas for stranded motorists to walk to if their cars had broken down. I think I'm going to have a look inside it. It does smell of piss though. I don't know why. Surely people aren't pulling alongside it if they're getting caught short. God, I don't think anyone's used this for a while. Oh. Does it work? Oh, it does work. Unbelievable. Half of them didn't used to work back in the day. They're worth using that wall as a bit of a leading line to it. I think that phone box was a good example of why it pays to return to a scene. I had to kind of walk about a mile out of my way, and I knew I wasn't going to get anything as good as last time where the light's concerned, but I was quite pleased with some of those detail shots that I got. I got a bit of an abstract one. It's a very quiet road is that, but I managed to get an abstract shot, shooting through the phone box as a cyclist passed. I mean, whether it works or not, I'll let you be the judge of that, but it's always nice to try and do something different, particularly when the conditions aren't in your favour. Well, that's got to be worth a shot. So a really teeny tiny house is that. Beautiful. Just need to make sure I line up with the door though. That's quite a nice view to end the walk. Right, I've just checked the back of the camera and I've taken 56 images on this walk today, and I've walked about 10 miles with half a mile back to the car. So of those 56 images I've taken, how many would I typically share on my socials or on a YouTube video? Not many, maybe a dozen of those I'm particularly happy with. I mean, let me know what you think. How many of those images did you think were worth sharing? Don't worry, I've got my big boy pants on. I can take it if your feedback is 0. But in all seriousness, you know, if I look at some of the images I have taken today, I've got some that will be perfect for my photography project, photographing the churches. And it was great to get a few detail shots of that phone box that I've only ever previously photographed the vistas from. So I was quite pleased with those. I don't think you'll have seen all of those 56 images so far, so any that I haven't shown yet, they'll be appearing on screen now. I've quite enjoyed doing this. I think as photographers we should all do this sometime and just be prepared to share the images that haven't turned out quite right, as well as the ones that we're most proud of. You'll know if you've been watching my channel for a while that this isn't typical of my style of photography. I like to just put my walking shoes on, pick my camera up and head out and see what I can find. If you are new to this channel and you want to learn a little bit more about that approach, there'll be a video on screen now for you to watch after this one. But thanks for watching this one. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.